right. Welcome back, everyone. Or if this is your first time with us, buckle up. Get ready for a deep dive into some cutting-edge science.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff.
We're going to be talking about nanozymes
Yeah.
and how they could maybe, possibly be used to treat depression. But we're not just talking about,
Right.
feeling down every now and then.
No.
This is about going deep right into your body's chemistry.
Yeah, like way down.
To see what's really going on.
Think gut bacteria,
Ooh.
oxidative stress,
Wow.
the whole shebang.
So this study that just came out last month.
Langmuir.
Langmuir, yeah. It basically says depression is...
It's only just like a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like rooted in your body.
Okay, so let's break this down. They keep talking about oxidative stress.
Right.
What is that?
Okay, so imagine like you cut an apple in half.
Uh-huh.
And you just leave it out, like on the counter.
Yeah.
What happens?
It turns brown.
It turns brown, right? Oxidation. Now, picture that, but like inside your cells.
Okay.
That's oxidative stress.
Basically, you get these unstable molecules,
Right.
free radicals.
Uh-huh.
And they're like wreaking havoc,
So like little troublemakers.
Totally. And then you've got antioxidants. They're like the good guys trying to neutralize them.
Uh-huh.
But when you have too many free radicals, they can damage your cells.
It's almost like rusting metal.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're saying that like rusting metal in our bodies
Yeah,
can impact our mental health.
that's a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oxidative stress has been linked to all sorts of health problems.
Oh, wow.
And that includes depression. It can really mess with things in your brain, like how your neurons talk to each other, or even like how many mood-regulating chemicals you're making.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
This study also found a connection between depression and, you ready for this? I'm ready.
Your gut bacteria.
The microbiome.
Yeah, all those trillions of little microbes
Yeah.
living it up in your intestines.
Yeah, it's a whole world down there.
It's a party in your gut.
Right.
But people might not realize
A lot of people don't.
it's a connection between your gut and your brain.
Yeah, it's called the gut-brain axis. It's a superhighway of information.
And those bacteria, they're not just, digesting your food.
Oh, no.
They're producing chemicals that can actually impact
They're producing chemicals that can, like, impact how you feel,
my mood.
your mood, your behavior. It's wild.
So how does this oxidative stress, the one we were talking about,
Yeah.
fit into this whole gut-brain thing?
Well, think about it. Oxidative stress, it can mess up the balance in your gut.
Oh.
Like the good and bad bacteria.
Yeah.
Causes inflammation down there. And then those signals, they can travel up to your brain. Yeah. And that can lead to, those feelings of depression. It's like a domino effect.
Oh, I had no idea my gut and my brain were so connected.
They're best buds. Or at least they should be.
So we've got oxidative stress, messing with our gut, maybe playing a role in depression.
There's a whole thing.
And then come these nanozymes.
Right.
I mean, the name alone is like out of a comic book.
Straight up sci-fi.
So what are they, how are they fighting back against all this?
All right. So imagine tiny, like microscopic robots.
Okay.
But they're actually synthetic particles that are designed to, like, mimic how enzymes work.
Enzymes, like the ones in our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. And these nanozymes, they act like superpowered antioxidants.
So they're like these tiny robots zapping those free radicals?
Exactly.
That's awesome. But how are they made?
Okay, so these specific nanosomes, they're called CDzymes.
CDzymes, okay.
And get this, they're made from glucose and histidine.
Like sugar and
It's an amino acid. But it basically means they're super compatible with your body.
Oh, that is good.
And they're really effective at, like, neutralizing those free radicals.
Okay, so we've got our nanozyme superheroes.
Yeah.
Ready to fight oxidative stress and, get the gut back in balance.
Exactly.
But the big question is, do they actually work?
Right. That's the million-dollar question.
Did they test this out?
They did on rats.
Rats.
Yeah, stressed out rats.
Poor rats. So what did they do to these rats?
They used this thing called the CUMS model.
CUMS.
Yeah, it stands for, like, chronic, unpredictable, mild stress.
Okay.
So they basically put these rats through a bunch of stressful situations
Oh, no.
to, like, make them show signs of depression.
Yeah.
And then they divided them into groups.
Okay. How many groups?
4 groups. So you got your healthy rats.
Okay.
Your stressed out rats who didn't get any treatment.
Control group.
Exactly. Then a group that got a common antidepressant, GABA.
Okay.
And then finally a group that got the CDzymes.
So it was like a rat race to recovery.
It kind of was.
All right, so who won?
Well, here's the thing. Both the rats who got GABA and the ones who got the CDzymes, they showed some really positive changes, like way better than the untreated, stressed-out rats.
So, like, what kind of changes did they like start doing yoga and meditating?
Not quite, but they did show way less, like, despair behaviors, more curiosity.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they were exploring more, seemed less anxious.
That's great.
Yeah, and when they looked at the brain chemistry, both the GABA and nanozyme groups, they had improvements in those neurotransmitter levels.
Oh, right, those mood chemicals.
Yeah, the ones that are often all out of whack in depression.
Wow, so those tiny nanozymes, they're really doing something.
They're packing a punch.
But what about the gut? Remember all those trillions of bacteria?
Oh, right.
That were all messed up from stress?
The microbiome, yeah.
Did the nanozymes help with that?
That's the crazy part, they did. Yeah. When they looked at the gut microbiome of the rats,
the
CDzymes had a super positive effect.
So what do they see?
So the stressed out rats, their gut microbiome diversity, it was really low.
Makes sense.
But the rats treated with the CDzymes, that diversity, it bounced back.
Wow.
It was almost like the healthy rats.
So it's like those nanozymes went in and they were like tiny gardeners.
I love that.
They just, fixed up the whole garden.
Gut garden.
Yeah, but what does that actually mean? Like, what does restoring the gut microbiome actually do?
So this is where it gets even cooler. That gut restoration, it led to improvements in what's called amino acid metabolism.
Okay, hold on. Amino acids, remind me what those are.
Okay, so amino acids, they're like the building blocks of protein.
Okay.
And some of them are crucial for making those neurotransmitters.
Right, those brain chemicals.
Exactly, the ones that help your brain cells talk to each other.
And regulate mood.
Right. So basically, by fixing the gut microbiome, the nanozymes were helping the rats produce the right stuff for a healthier brain.
So it's all connected. The gut, the brain, it's all one big system.
It really is.
That's pretty mind-blowing. But this was all in rats.
Right.
So what does this mean for people who are dealing with depression?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? What if we could, actually treat depression by, getting to the root of the problem?
Instead of just masking the symptoms.
Exactly. What if we could help restore balance in the gut microbiome and reduce that oxidative stress and maybe even improve neurotransmitter production, all at the same time?
That would be amazing. But what about those antidepressants people are already taking?
Right.
Like the GABA we were just talking about.
Yeah, GABA.
Where does that fit in with all of this?
Well, that's a great question. And I think this study actually gives us some clues.
Okay.
Remember, they tested both the CDzymes and GABA on those stressed out rats.
Yeah, and they both seem to help, right?
They did. Both treatments seemed to lead to improvements in the rat's behavior and in those neurotransmitter levels.
So does that mean, these nanozymes could be, an alternative to traditional antidepressants?
It's possible, but it's still too early to say for sure.
Yeah.
We need, a lot more research, especially in humans, to really figure out how they could be used.
So more research is definitely needed.
Definitely.
But it's exciting to think about the possibilities, right?
It is. Imagine if we could combine different treatment approaches.
Yeah.
Maybe even personalize them based on, someone's gut microbiome.
Personalized medicine for depression?
Exactly.
That would be incredible. But you mentioned more research with humans. What are, the next steps to figure all this out?
Well, the first thing is we need to see if those results with the rats actually hold true in humans.
Okay, yeah.
That means doing clinical trials, where they give the CDzymes to human volunteers.
Right.
And see what happens.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got to take those tiny robots from the rat race to the human race.
That's a good way to put it.
What else do researchers need to figure out?
Well, there's dosage. How much do people need to take? How often?
Right.
And then delivery. How do you actually get the nanozymes into the body?
Pills, injections.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to figure out. And then there's the whole gut microbiome thing.
Oh, yeah, because everyone's microbiome is different, right?
Totally. It's like a fingerprint.
So how could that, affect treatment?
Well, that's what's so fascinating. The human microbiome is super complex.
Yeah.
There are all these different species of bacteria interacting with each other.
It's like a whole ecosystem.
It is. And each person's ecosystem is unique. So this raises a really interesting possibility.
What's that?
What if we could create personalized treatments based on your specific gut bacteria?
Oh, wow. So, You get your gut microbiome analyzed,
Yeah.
and then you get like a custom blend of nanozymes.
Right. Designed to, like, boost your mental health.
That sounds kind of sci-fi, but really cool.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're already seeing this kind of personalized medicine in other areas.
Like where?
Like cancer treatment, where they're tailoring therapies to people's genes.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
If scientists can actually manipulate our gut bacteria to improve our mental health, what else could we do? The possibilities seem endless.
They really do. I mean, this research has implications way beyond depression.
Oh, wow.
It suggests that maybe we could target the gut microbiome to address, like, all sorts of conditions.
Like what?
I'm talking anxiety, autism, even things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Well, by working with the bacteria in our gut.
Exactly. We're just starting to understand how much our gut influences our overall health.
This is incredible.
It is. This research opens up a whole new frontier in medicine.
It's like a whole new world. But we got to be realistic.
Oh, absolutely. It's important to remember this is still early research.
Yeah.
We need more studies, especially with humans.
To confirm everything.
Exactly. We need to be patient and let the science catch up to the excitement.
Okay, so cautious optimism.
Cautious optimism, I like that. But even with that caution, this research offers hope.
Yeah.
It suggests that maybe we're on the verge of developing some really effective treatments for depression.
That could help so many people.
Exactly. And these treatments, they might be less invasive and actually address the root causes, not just the symptoms.
That's what we want.
Exactly.
Well, I'm definitely feeling cautiously optimistic. This has been an amazing deep dive.
That has.
Into the world of nanozymes and depression and gut bacteria.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It really is.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up, there's one more thing I want to touch on. So we've talked about, the science and how cool it all is, and we need more research.
Right.
But what does this all mean, for you listening right now? Like, if scientists can, really manipulate those bacteria to make our mental health better, are there ethical things we need to be thinking about?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with any new powerful technology, there are always ethical implications.
Like what?
Well, for instance, if we can change the gut microbiome to treat depression, what's to stop us from using it to, enhance mood in people who aren't clinically depressed?
Right. Like, where's the line?
Exactly. Where do we draw the line between treatment and enhancement?
That's a really good question. And then what about access to these treatments?
Right.
Like, will everyone be able to benefit from this?
Yeah.
Or will it just be, for people who can afford it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a huge concern.
Yeah.
Could this make existing health inequalities even worse? It's definitely something to consider.
So we really need to be careful,
Oh, absolutely. We have to have those conversations.
As we move forward with all this.
Yeah, open and honest discussions.
It's about, all the implications.
It's exactly involving scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public. We got to make sure these tools are used responsibly.
For everyone.
Exactly. For the greater good.
So much to think about.
It is. It's a balancing act, isn't it?
It is, but wow, this has been a wild ride.
It has.
Talking about depression and bacteria and nanozymes.
Yeah, who knew your gut was so important?
Right. And we've learned a lot, but
there's so much more to discover.
This is really just the beginning of understanding, the human body and this crazy connection between our gut and our brain.
The gut-brain axis.
So, next time you're eating lunch or whatever, think about all that's going on in your gut.
Trillions of bacteria hard at work.
Yeah. They might just hold the key to, treating some of these really tough conditions.
The future is exciting.
It is. So keep learning. Keep questioning. Stay curious, everyone.
Yeah, stay curious.
Until next time, keep diving deep.